Welcome to How Do They Afford That, the podcast that peeks into the financial lives of everyday Australians. I'm Michael Thompson. I'm an author and the co-host of the podcast Fear and Greed Business News. As always, I'm with Canna Campbell, financial planner and founder of Sugar Mama TV, which is the financial literacy platform that covers YouTube, podcasts, books, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and more. Hello, Canna.
Hello, how are we?
A little apprehensive, if I'm honest. I'm wary.
I feel like we're going to have a lot of fun in this episode.
We are going to have some fun, but it could be absolute chaos because we have a noble goal for today's episode, which is to save money. That's pretty much it. Good to start.
Saving money on food. Come on.
Saving money on food specifically. Because if you ask any household, I reckon, in the country right now, the grocery bill is still up there as one of the top stresses on the family budget. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Hey, look at that. We're already agreeing. We're already only a minute into the show. Today, though, and this is where it gets a little bit chaotic, we are looking at a very modern way to save money on groceries. Can ChatGPT rescue your household shopping bill? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes.
Yeah, I'm blown away. I've had a little bit of an experiment and I'm excited to share.
So let's go through a whole bunch of different ways that you can use AI, essentially, to... it's not just about coming up with ideas. It is about, like, you can even use it to help budget for it all, but really it is about a whole plan.
Oh, absolutely. And also it's about saving time as well.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, waste, which is very important. We love our planet. But for me, my biggest danger when it comes to spending money on food is I can't just walk into the supermarket and buy a litre of milk. I walk out with 7, 8, 9 different things. Yeah. And this, I think, is instrumental in stopping you thinking, oh, I've got to go to the supermarket because we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have anything for dinner.
So
it stops that.
It's the ultimate meal plan and it's the ultimate shopping list then that goes to that meal plan, and that's all you need to buy then.
And it is very much about zero waste.
Okay, let's do this. So we have the top 10 ways to use ChatGPT to help out with the family groceries. Number 1, the budget meal plan challenge. What's this?
So this is where you explain to Hi, ChatGPT.
Are you polite? When you talk to ChatGPT, are you courteous?
I'm having an emotional affair with ChatGPT. I even said to ChatGPT, I love you. You are so clever. And it wrote back to me and said, have an amazing day. You are so kind.
Oh, you got friend zoned by ChatGPT.
I'm here for you if you need me. Just reach out again.
But it didn't say that it loves you back.
It said that was very sweet, which I would say that's the equivalent.
It doesn't love you. Like, you are... Oh, I'm sorry to say that you have been friend-zoned by AI. Goodness me, that's a very lopsided relationship.
It gave me a love heart, though. Emoji.
Does that really count?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
The budget meal plan challenge.
Okay. So I tested this out and I was really impressed with the results. So it gave me stir fries, soups, like pasta bakes, fried rice, and I actually put in a budget. So I gave it $100 budget and said I've got a family of 5, 3 young children, and we need a meal for 5 of us for 5 nights in a row. I even had $20 change by the end of it.
Okay, so you actually set the budget. So you go, I have a budget of $100 to spend on food this week for dinners. I've got
2 adults, 3 children.
Family of 5. Can you put in kind of dietary issues?
Absolutely. So obviously, as we all know with AI and ChatGPT, the more information you can put in, the better. And also if you can refer to other examples that you like, that all obviously helps. So yes, absolutely. You put as much information as possible. You can say like I've got one family member that's gluten intolerant, another one doesn't like dairy. It will work around that and give you a range of options as well, not just the answers. It gives you alternatives for those people so that you are not having to cook 5 different meals for 5 different people or 3 different meals for 4 different people. It was absolutely brilliant. I will admit, though, when I looked at the rest, because it gives you back obviously the meals, but also gave me the ingredients and the instructions, potentially a little bit bland. Like there were a lot of sort of 5 key ingredients, but hey, $20, it's like feeding a family of 5 for $100 for 5 days. That's
It actually seems unbelievable.
And change, $20 change.
Okay. And I suppose you can always kind of add some spices and things.
Sneak in some chili flakes.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to kind of dress it up a little bit. What we might do a little bit later on is I have my computer here and I'm ready to, let's test it out a little bit later. We'll toss in a few ingredients or a little bit of a budget requirement and see what it comes up with. But let's go to number 2 on the list. So that was the budget meal plan challenge, where you're setting the budget and then seeing what it can come up with and whether it comes in under the budget. Price comparison. Number 2, the price comparison test.
So this was fascinating because I put in that I was looking to get, a good, accurate price comparison. And not only did it give me a great price comparison, it gave me a price comparison across a range of different products and explained the answers to me. So, for example, supermarket, the private label brands, like the home brands, obviously they are the most cost-effective national brands. And then it went into detail. So it gave me 3 different examples of milk. So budget, one step up, and then best value for money. Same with eggs, same with bread. And then it also gave me further ideas. So, for example, when the ChatGPT came back to me about the cereal, it actually ended with another alternative to cereal is oats, which are also cheaper and even healthier. And it gave me examples, little prompts, for example, buying, a dozen eggs, instead buy 2 dozen eggs in a bigger carton. That's much better value for money.
So an example with this, I suppose, would be if you are trying to get comparisons on kind of commonly bought items and alternatives that you might be able to use instead, you might use this for the items in your shopping trolley that are really expensive. I'm thinking of dishwashing tablets or something like that, which can be...
Let's not argue about the dishwashing tablets again.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my God. This whole thing. Backstory is that I am a massive fan of the Aldi Logix dishwashing tablets. You get the platinum ones and they are cheap and they are absolutely certified brilliant. Right? And you are a massive, massive skeptic and you refuse to do it because I honestly don't know why.
Okay, this is an important money-saving hack. It's the amount of consumption, because you cannot cut a dishwashing tablet in half. We are being told to fill up our washing machines, our dishwashers with all this product, of course, because then we need to go back to the supermarket and buy it all over again. I guarantee if you got the powder, the loose powder, put a teaspoon in, which would probably be maybe 1/3 of those expensive tablets where you have no control, your plates and your sheets and clothes will come out just as clean.
I don't often wash my sheets in my dishwasher.
But when you use your washing machine, obviously, I'm saying it's the same concept. The tablets do not give you any control in reducing the amount that you're using, so therefore, how can you stretch out the savings?
Look, but if we take dishwashing tablets just as a general kind of idea, you could put that in here and do a price comparison test using ChatGPT.
And ChatGPT will give you 3 different brands and even link those brands for you. So you can see which one is best value for money, which one's the cheapest, which one is mid-range.
All right, number 3 on our list of the top 10 ways that ChatGPT can save you money on groceries, the waste reduction strategy. Now, I like this in principle, right? Because you are just kind of going into your fridge and you are finding kind of what's left over in your fridge. And it might be kind of some lemons. Do you keep lemons in the fridge? Yeah, sometimes if it's a half lemon. Yeah. You might have some chicken in there. You might have kind of, I don't know, a couple of other ingredients. You put them into ChatGPT and you say, this is what I've got. What can I make? You've tested it.
I tested it and I was blown away. So I had some leftover chicken. Mm-hmm. I had some cream. I had half a can of tomatoes and I had an onion. And it suggested a creamy chicken pasta for dinner, which actually sounded delicious. And it, again, gave me some extra tips. If I had any spare garlic, if I had any chili flakes, I could add those to give extra flavour.
And it gives you the full recipe, right?
Yes.
Like it's not just giving you the name and you've got to make it up.
Everything. And this is what I'm saying. It stops that, we've got nothing to eat, I'm going to have to go to the supermarket, which is, and I'm sure I'm not alone in walking through, popping into the shops. You never walk out with just one thing.
You remember the TV show Surprise Chef?
Yes.
And this is exactly like that, right?
Yes.
Aristos, the surprise chef. And he used to kind of ambush people in the supermarket.
It's really fun.
And he would come up to them and go, "What have you got in your shopping trolley?" And it was all on camera. And he would come home and he would take the ingredients that they had made and turn it into a gourmet meal. And this feels like the 21st century version of that.
It is.
Okay. All right. So that's the waste reduction strategy. So that gets a big tick from you.
Yes.
So far, have we given 3 ticks?
Yeah.
Tick, tick, tick. Okay, moving on to number 4 then, the discount hunt simulation. So this is basically where you ask ChatGPT how to find discounts. And it can be for a specific shop or it can be for a particular grocery item. So using the one that we agree on, dishwashing tablets, you could say, where can I find kind of the best price on dishwashing tablets, that kind of thing?
Yes, and the cool thing about this is you can use it for like on an ongoing basis, like for your weekly grocery budget, or if you are, for example, putting together a kid's birthday party and you're on a tight budget and you think, okay, where is the best place to buy cupcakes, best value for money?
Okay.
Where should I be buying, lollies for a lolly bag? Where should I be buying a birthday cake? You can put this information into ChatGPT and it will give you that sort of exact instructions as to where you should be going to find the best value for money.
And it works?
Yes.
Okay, because I kind of had it in my head that ChatGPT wouldn't give you the most up-to-date information, and because the specials are changing every week, that it might not be able to tell you the kind of the most up-to-date place and things. But so far in your experimentation, it seems pretty good.
It even gave me a link to a YouTube recipe to help me with my creamy chicken pasta dish. So
okay, all right. So
maybe. I mean, I do have something very special going on between myself and ChatGPT, even though you like to deny it.
I'm just pointing out.
It's maybe doing a few extra favours because we have a thing.
It's a very one-sided thing, as we established before. A quick one before we go to the break. Bulk buying advice. And this is, I mean, you could listen to this podcast for that. Like, you don't need ChatGPT for this. It is basically just asking AI whether it's worthwhile buying something in bulk. The answer is yes.
I totally disagree.
Oh, okay. All right. Good chat.
That is why I really like ChatGPT, because it has that element of common sense. Like, how many times, and you know what? Tom, my partner, he buys in bulk and then we can't store it anywhere.
Smart man.
Yeah. Do you know how many navy blue and white hats I have floating in boxes around our house? Hundreds and hundreds of them. He buys them in bulk, thinks it's great, saving money. And then obviously you need to think about, well, is it perishable? Can you maybe distribute it and share the savings? So there is a lot of sort of planning and logistics that goes along with bulk buying. And particularly if you are someone who loves, for example, Costco, which I have previously been a member. I'm not a member of at the moment. I should review that. I'll ask ChatGPT. But you need to sort of think about, okay, is it, what about the cost of transport? Do I need to drive somewhere to get it, or do I have to pay for delivery? How can I don't need all of this product. I only need, say, a third of it. This is where ChatGPT can help give you the right prompt or idea or connection to then help maximize those savings and see if they really are worth it or not. Okay,
I stand corrected. That is something.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, my. Write down the date.
I don't even know where that came from. That wasn't what I was going to say. I was going to argue the point.
So you didn't even mean it. Thanks.
Right, no, it's kind of like your ChatGPT relationship. Meaningless. I'm sorry.
We have something really beautiful going on, okay?
That was unnecessarily harsh, and I do apologise. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue our list of the ways that ChatGPT can help you save on your grocery bill. All right, Canna, we are talking about grocery bills and the grocery budget and how ChatGPT can help you save money buying groceries every week. We've covered 5 methods so far. Let's go for number 6, the seasonal produce finder. So this is where you're basically asking ChatGPT which fruit and vegetables are currently in season and cheaper to buy. Oh, that feels like kind of ChatGPT's phoning that one in. You've got Google for that, right?
This is probably one of my favourite ChatGPT
I'm on fire today, aren't I?
tests, because it gave me so many great ideas. So I asked ChatGPT, what's fruit and vegetables are in season right now. I explained to ChatGPT, I'm on a budget, I want to save some money, and I really want to make sure I stretch out the this food so it lasts all year round. So not only did it give me the list of fruits and vegetables that were in season, it then gave me a whole list of ideas to help preserve my fruits, like canning and fermenting and all these wonderful exotic things that I'm sure are totally out of my skill set in the kitchen to help ensure I get the most value out of money. I do not laugh. I was just a matter of time. So I actually even wrote down freezing, dehydration. Have you ever thought about saving money through dehydration?
But it's one of those things, right? Is it actually going to save you money if you take up canning or you take up dehydration of things? Because you end up spending a fortune on the packaging for it, the equipment you need for it, and it feels as though it's not actually worth it in the long run. You're better just to buy fresh, buy quality, so you're not wasting anything. You're not getting any dodgy blueberries in your punnet. You're just getting good quality ones. You eat them all and then you move on.
Do you not know the power of probiotics from a fermented sauerkraut?
I can honestly say I do not.
Well, there are a lot of health benefits that come from preserving and pickling food, might I add. You need to go get some time on ChatGPT and maybe look at investing in your own relationship.
With ChatGPT?
Yeah.
All right. Probiotics from fermented sauerkraut.
And I might add, what if you learn how to do jamming? You could make some beautiful raspberry, strawberry jam, maybe marmalade. Then you can use them as gifts. You can save money at Christmas time and birthdays. It's a very special, intimate present. Well, not intimate, actually, but it's a very personal present.
I think I'm going to leave that one alone. I don't want to know what you use jam for in an intimate way.
Appreciated, at least.
Oh, God. Okay, number 7. The leftover pantry test. Now, this is very, very similar to, what was it, number 3, the one where you save stuff out of the fridge, the waste reduction strategy. This is basically where you are providing a random mix of staples that you have in your pantry and putting together a budget-friendly dinner idea.
Yeah, so anything that, there's random things that somehow are left over from a meal that you made and you didn't use that ingredient, like, the cannellini beans that you didn't use in that salad.
The capers.
Yeah, the capers. Funny you say that. I have capers in my fridge that's probably never going to see the light of day. But this is where you can put those ingredients in and let it give you some ideas. And you can say, look, I love salads, I love pasta dishes, I love risottos. So that it's not just sort of giving you some, a generic list of meals. You actually can say, these are the key ingredients and flavors that I love. Like I love Asian infusion or I love a great curry. So the more information you put in, the better results are going to be.
And again, you can still apply all of what we talked about in the very first one about kind of how many people it's to serve. The budget's got to come in under the dietary requirements, all of these things. And you can apply this to any of these ones that you're doing and really kind of test out ChatGPT and see how well it can go. Number 8, the store-specific savings plan. This one, if this one actually works, I reckon this is pretty amazing. You can give a list of shops that you say it's kind of the main supermarket, say you're putting in Woolies and Coles and Aldi, maybe toss in IGA and maybe Costco as well into this, and asking for strategies to save money at each one.
So this was interesting. I was slightly disappointed. Don't tell ChatGPT I said that.
It's listening.
But, I got a lot of generic advice, like, shopping at particular times and looking for the yellow sticker. But it also reminded me of things that we often do forget, like flybys, everyday rewards. And it did have a couple of extra tips. One which I really liked is mentioned Harris Farm.
Yeah.
And it said, make sure you're following Harris Farm's Instagram page because it's a brilliant source of what is obviously on special this week, but also what is in season and what particular fruit or vegetables they have that are from the imperfect or odd bunch that is heavily discounted, as well as a whole list of meal ideas. So I thought it was interesting. There's a lot of, yes, I already knew that, but there's sometimes you need to be reminded of these things as well, which is also very helpful and handy because we can, forget to tap our card with everyday rewards or, that you love your flybys as well. So it definitely was helpful. And perhaps, again, maybe I didn't put enough information into ChatGPT about this particular challenge, but it was most definitely of value.
Okay, number 9, we're running out of time here, the family size customization. So you are providing ChatGPT with the details of your family, So, and being quite specific about ages and requirements, kind of how much they would eat, all that kind of thing, and trying to get it to plan not just the meals, but the full weekly grocery list, and really kind of putting it under some pressure to try and get kind of good nutrition in there and to get enough food that's actually going to fill kids up, for instance.
So I had a bit of fun with this. I put my 3 Labradors in.
Oh, wow.
So I have 3 Labradors. They're big Labradors. Giuseppe is 12. So he's an older dog. He needs food that's, has some sort of arthritis supplement in there. Then I have Peppy, who's 3, who's overweight, permanently on a diet. So she needs something that's, calorie restrictive. And then I have Tulip, who's 2, and she's still kind of a puppy. She's quite lean. I'm trying to sort of fatten her up a bit. She's, got lots of energy to burn. So I put all of this into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT went, feeding 3 large Labradors requires a substantial amount of quality dry food. Here are some options in Sydney where you can find 5 great deals for this week. And it went through 5 different deals for each of the dogs and linked them, but also gave me, and it landed on this brand. I'd never heard of it before. It said this week, Farm and Yard are offering 50% off dog food for 2025. And they said they provide a variety of dry dog food options, including chicken, lamb, salmon, at half price throughout the year. And then, of course, provided the link. So it actually addressed each of the concerns for the 3 dogs and gave me best value for money. And it gave me 3 options as well within each of those 5.
So that's another big tick.
I'm off to Farm and Yard.
That's amazing. All right, well, that's a really good use for it. Final one, number 10, substituting expensive items. So it is kind of naming some expensive, and look, it does feel like there's a little bit of overlap here on this list. It is naming some expensive things like, say, salmon, for instance, and asking it to suggest cheaper alternatives, but that are still going to be good for you, still meet a certain kind of nutritional requirement.
So again, I tested this out. I spent a lot of time.
You did.
One-on-one with ChatGPT. So not only did ChatGPT give me alternatives, but also gave me ways of still being able to have that particular ingredient, but in a more financially friendly way. So I like salmon, love salmon. And so it listed, obviously, have tuna instead of salmon. But then it said obviously have canned tuna, canned salmon. Then it said, not having a larger quantity. So, for example, making a salmon salad and then stretching that portion or fillet of salmon, I think it is, across, 3 dishes instead of having one piece of salmon on one plate. Fattening it up with rice, with potatoes, with pasta. Buying salmon where it's not necessarily fresh, it's been frozen in the pack. So it gave me lots of ways to actually still be able to afford to buy salmon, but in a more financially friendly manner. And the same with, I'd put in organic berries. I will admit I do not buy organic berries, but it actually gave me some really great ways to be able to afford organic berries if I wanted to.
We're going to test it just quickly because we've only got like 30 seconds.
Should we be using my ChatGPT? Because
no, yours has got weird stuff on it. Yours has got weird stuff. We're not going anywhere near yours. So what I'm doing right now is I am asking ChatGPT. I'm assuming that the 2 of us are going for a post-podcast meal that we're going to make ourselves.
Okay.
All right. And I have said, design a budget meal under $20 for 2. I have apples, steak, a little bit of leftover steak, some bread, a celery stick, and some chocolate. And ChatGPT has said, here's a simple, satisfying meal plan using what you have. With less than $20, we'll buy a few extras to complete the meal and create a 3-course dinner for 2. This is luxe. We are having, for our starter, celery and cream cheese sticks.
Oh, yum.
Oh, okay, I was being sarcastic. For our main, we are having grilled rump steak sandwich. That's combining the steak and the bread. Clever. With garlic butter and apple slaw.
Oh.
Fancy. That's a bit fancier than you would normally expect. I would have just thought it would just say, put the steak on the bread and be done with it. And finally, dessert, chocolate dipped apples.
Wow.
Yeah. And the whole thing And it has the ingredients to buy, the things that we didn't have, the cabbage for the slaw, the cream cheese, and a few other bits and pieces, one bulb of garlic, and that all comes in under $20. In fact, it's substantially less. It's about kind of $10 to $11. It's got the cooking instructions. It has got everything that you need to put this meal together. I reckon that's a pass. Would you say pass mark for that?
You are tough. I mean...
Oh, it's either pass, fail. Like, I'm not doing kind of high distinction, credit, all that kind of thing. What would you give it?
High distinction.
Oh, really?
Honours, yes.
Oh, it's the slaw that got you across the line, wasn't it? You're a slaw fiend.
Clever.
All right, well, look, it's worth having a play around with. ChatGPT,
Yes.
It certainly can help save some money. At the very least, it gives you new ideas, right?
Absolutely. And it makes you realise you do not need to head out to the supermarket all the time. We do have a lot of things that we can use up, and it's like our grandparents. They wouldn't leave waste like we do.
Yeah. No, I love it. Look, if anybody wants more information from you, where do they find you?
Best place to get in contact with me is Canna Campbell Official.
On Instagram?
On Instagram.
Okay, perfect. And you can hear me every day with Sean Aylmer on Fear and Greed, daily business news for people who make their own decisions. Thank you very much for listening to How Do They Afford That? Remember to hit follow on the podcast, and the best thing that you can do is tell somebody else, or better yet, send them this episode and spread the word about How Do They Afford That? Thank you very much for your company. Join us again next week.